It's on! Hey, Heidi Ho, everyone. Welcome to the latest edition. What is Hey, Heidi Ho? I don't think I've ever said that in my life. Welcome to the latest edition of Disney Parks Talk Live, starring your three favorite hosts in the world and me. Except one of them isn't here today. Mike Celestino was supposed to join us, and he got water in his ears, and he can't hear us, so we're not going to have Mike today. It's a lot of rain. In fact, there's a lot of rain at Disneyland. I'm going to prove it to you. Right here. Check that out. Look at all that weather. Look at all that weather. So that's where Mike Celestino is at. And that was a little too much weather for his earbuds. So he is not here today. It is the three of us, and we will go on without him. So I'm going to do a little bit of shift in our schedule. We were going to start with Mike Celestino, and so he could get through his stuff and get out of here. But since he's not here, we'll start with our actual top story, and we'll talk Disney Destiny, which is, if we happen to go the whole hour on Disney Destiny and never get to anything else, I'm perfectly fine with that, because it's a new cruise ship, and there is nothing more exciting in this world than a new Disney cruise ship. And luckily, and I do mean luckily, Mr. Jeremiah Good down there and myself, that is an odd combination, Rebecca, had the opportunity to go on the media preview cruise for the Disney Destiny, a 3-day cruise to Castaway Cay with a day at sea. Not a normal cruise, obviously, but we did get to do a lot of stuff. Check out the ship, talk to some people, and let's talk about the ship, Jeremiah. Where shall we start? So, like you said, it was a 3-day cruise. It was a media cruise. So I will tell you that we did not have a normal cruise experience, but we did do a lot of normal cruise stuff. A lot of, pretty much everything was open at one time or another. So we were able to just hang in the Haunted Mansion parlor, hang in the Sanctum, we saw many shows, just regular, ordinary shows. We did have 2 of the 3 dining experiences. And so we'll go from there. So Jeremiah, I'll start here. You've been on the Wish and Treasure.
Yes.
And now you've been on the Destiny, the 3rd ship in the Wish class. Out of everything you did, which one made you go, this is awesome?
On the Destiny or
on the Destiny?
overall?
On the Destiny. On the Destiny.
Okay. See, I think it's unfair to ask me that because that was my first ever christening, and seeing the christening and the drone show, like that was one of those wow moments, almost as cool as me staying on the wrong riser and standing next to Disney's top executives accidentally.
That's pretty cool. I'm trying to pull up some images here.
Yeah. No.
So Jeremiah, it was the media cruise and the christening cruise, and Jeremiah had the opportunity to see the christening from shore, unlike myself. So go ahead and continue, Jeremiah.
Yeah, so we had a reception. So let's start again. We got on the ship at a normal time. Well, we were on there a little early for the media. We got to explore. And then those of us going to the christening got off the ship, were put in the port, and had a small reception. And then we were released out to see the christening, which, I saw the christening for the Wish and the Treasure through our videos. But this was so much more than I could have ever expected. While the drone show was amazing and things I still look at and go, wow, to me, one of the coolest things is them actually using the Destiny as a screen and doing projections on it. They kind of said, make sure your curtains are closed, and didn't really have a clue what it was. And then to watch this, I was lucky enough to be up on the risers, had an amazing view of not only the ceremony on the stands down there, but also the projections, the drone show. And, I don't think that there's much that I would say is cooler than that on the ship. On the ship, though, I will say Haunted Mansion Parlor is still one of my top coolest things, even though it does exist on the Treasure.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I got to experience the Haunted Mansion Parlor. I've not been on the Treasure. I've been on the Wish, but not the Treasure. So I got to experience the Haunted Mansion Parlor for the first time. The Wishes version is help me out, is Star Wars.
Yes.
And the difference, the improvement from Haunted Mansion to Star Wars, from Star Wars to Haunted Mansion is amazing. I mean, Rebecca, we did the Star Wars. We spent maybe 20 minutes or so in there, had a drink, and is it fair to say we were a little bit disappointed, maybe?
I mean, for me, it wasn't that I was disappointed in the experience. It just wasn't the experience I wanted when I was on board a cruise ship.
Okay, that's fair.
It was more industrial. For whatever reason, it just feels more industrial than luxury.
Okay.
And so that's one of the things I notice when I see what you guys are sharing about the Haunted Mansion. It feels like, I don't want to use the term elevated because it's used so heavily, but it does feel fancier. Yes, Mr. Jeremiah?
Go back a couple of photos, Doobie. So it's very funny. I got a chance to talk to one of the Imagineers, and the Haunted Mansion parlor on the Treasure. I didn't get a chance to be in there during one of these media presentations, but to walk in there when there's not a lot of people in there was very cool. I talked to one of the Imagineers and I asked, what is your favorite Easter egg? And she pointed this out. This is actually the original sketch that was going to go into the Mickey Mouse park that was going to be across from the studios of the haunted house at that time. And it's on a plate that's up on the wall that, if somebody didn't point it out to me, and unless I got even closer, wouldn't be able to see the concept of it. And to me, that was very cool. And then another one of the tributes to Rolly Crump in the Museum of the Weird, the Wax Man, but this is a reimagined as a candelabra. It's not a tribute to Lumiere.
This is a Easter egg lover's dream. Both this and the Cask and Cannon Pirates of the Caribbean themed, more traditional lounge. This one is much more than traditional. There's so much going on here. The fish in here are just amazing. If you're not a Haunted Mansion fan, you're going to hate this place. But if you are a Haunted Mansion fan, this is it's a dream. And we went here, we had a couple of drinks here. Neither Jeremiah or I drink alcohol.
By the way, more specifically, that's a Harper Goff sketch.
Oh, cool. I'm glad you brought mentioned that. So, yeah. Hopefully Jeremiah will be back. He just disappeared, Haunted Mansion like.
That happens.
There he is. No idea what happened. As I said, neither Jeremiah nor I drink, but we did indulge in some of they have two higher end non-alcoholic drinks that Jeremiah and I got. And I think we can both safely say the one based on butterscotch is good. And the other one, in our opinion, is not edible.
No.
So yeah, and to answer your question, Gio, is there an insanely expensive drink like the $5,000 one in the Star Wars? No, there is not the equivalent of that.
No, one of my favorite moments on the entire cruise was sitting there with Doobie, just having a drink. Like, Doobie and I never get to spend a lot of time together, but we got to sit and enjoy the amazing parlor, have a drink, got to interact with some of our friends from WW Magazine in there also. So it was definitely my favorite moment of the cruise.
Oh, that's so sweet, Jeremiah. It was a great moment. I enjoyed that very much. One of the cool things about the Destiny compared to the Wish, and this may be the case on the Treasure too, but there's a story for your cruise. It's not in your face, but it's there. The cruise is meant to be a story. You're trying to find your destiny. It's heroes versus villains. And it actually manifests itself through a lot of the entertainment, specifically in the Grand Hall. And that is just such a cool thing to have implemented on a cruise ship. And again, it's not in your face. It's not like you're at some kind of a murder mystery event or something where that's the central thing. It's not the central thing, but it's there. It's underlying. And if you look for it, you can really enjoy it. And to me, that was just probably the best thing about the ship for me compared to other ships I've been on, is that story. And one of the ways it manifests itself is there's a Loki show. There's a show early on in the cruise where Loki takes over in the Grand Hall, where Loki takes over, and this is his ship now, and it's just really cool. And they really use the Grand Hall so well with the lighting and turning it all green and everything. And then later on in the cruise, the last day, Loki's coming
No
again.
spoilers.
I'm not
No
going to totally
spoilers.
spoil. Loki
Okay.
comes back
I didn't
again,
go.
and then things happen that you might expect to happen. But it's just so cool. I love that they do that.
Are these shows things that are like a one-off, like it happens at 10 a.m. on day one, or is this something that these shows are happening like intermittently throughout it, and you may stumble on it?
So again, we were on our cruise. I can speak for our cruise and what I think is happening. I believe, like the first show I talked about, I don't think that would happen twice. I think it happens once, but there are many shows, so you don't have to catch them all. But that particular show, I think, is just going to happen once on the cruise. The last one is a part of the Until We Meet Again. It's like Until We Meet Again segues into the show I was just talking about. So obviously that's only once on the cruise. But there are so many shows in the Grand Hall. In fact, my favorite show specifically was a retelling of Sleeping Beauty, using the two hosts for your cruise, who are Gamble, and I will never remember her name. Jeremiah, if you can find that out, I appreciate it, or someone out there can tell me. There are two hosts for the cruise. They did something similar on the Treasure. Again, the Wish does not have it. Hopefully they add it. And they host almost all of the Grand Hall shows. And they did a retelling of Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty is not in it, but they just retold it. They got some guests from the audience. It's hilarious. The guests that Zehan, thank you. Zaya, sorry. Gamble and Zaya. And it was just hilarious. The guests were hilarious. The whole thing, it was my favorite show, second favorite show that I saw on the entire cruise. And then it does have a kind of spectacular ending that I'm not going to spoil. But the entertainment on this ship is just, and not like big entertainment, which we'll talk about in a minute, but just a little entertainment. The character interactions, if you consider Zaya and Gamble characters, it's just so good. I wanted to experience all of it. I think what's going to end up being the hidden gem of this show, and what was my favorite thing in the show, which unfortunately neither Jeremiah nor Benji had a chance to see, was Dr. Facilier's parlor. And it's just this very intimate room.
Julie, I was in there with you.
Except for Benji didn't get to experience it.
Yes.
I completely forgot. So you know what? Since you're here and I've been talking a lot, why don't you talk about it? I'm sorry, you're so right.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Especially on this one, no spoilers, because one of the brilliant things about this that I really love is that you don't document it.
Yeah.
You're
it is
in the moment.
Like Duby was saying, the entertainment, everything that is not in the Walt Disney Theater was put on by a group that has been working on bringing entertainment like this. For those of you who got a chance to go on the Star Cruiser, a lot of it is very similar to the setup of that. The Dr. Facilier parlor, they bring in, I believe our group was 11, so like 10 to 12 people at a time. Facilier is there working on some of his dark magic. And I'd gone to the Magic Castle. It is a close-up magic presentation with Facilier being Dr. Facilier. The magic was very good, and he was amazing.
He was amazing, and he was amazing. Again, a lot of interaction. Again, there's only 11 people in there, so a lot of interaction with guests. And I love that they allow no photography in there, no pictures, no videos. So the lore of Dr. Facilier's parlor can just be told by word of mouth from person to person. Yeah. And the entertainment cast, the host was into it. They're usually all nice and bubbly. She was dead serious and had some attitude, kind of reminded me of Rise of the Resistance. I think that's I went to the very first one. Word hadn't gotten out. It was me and Jeremiah. Some of the creators of it were in there. Mm-hmm. By the last show, on the last day, the line went so far that Facilier must be in there for like an hour trying to get through everyone. So
that's what I'm going to be curious to see, is how this is coordinated operationally once they're cruising with guests,
with more people,
and how will they structure access to the Facilier, because it seems to have created quite a bit of buzz. So it'll obviously be something that people are very much wanting to have as part of their cruise.
And I don't know if there's more than one experience to be had, because I feel like I've seen it now, but if there is, I'm going to go to every single one of those, and he's going to be going, "What are you doing here again?" So
I was able to compare notes with a guest who saw a different show, and it was the same. But that's not to say that that person didn't just see the same of three different
I was going to say like the movie
possibilities.
Clue, right, where you have several different outcomes, but it's not endless.
And I'm sorry I'm not showing more pictures. It's hard for me to talk and show at the same time. But this is all. We have so many videos, so many articles on our website. Much more is coming. So obviously you can go see it, and I'll do my best. But yeah, I'm not showing as much as I'd like to.
And the fun. Can I jump in for a second?
Yeah,
Toby?
please.
The fun thing is, and this is something that the entertainment people that I talked to wanted to focus on. For those of you who've been to Disneyland and Walt Disney World has, you wait in line, you get a photo with the character, that's about it. Disneyland has character experiences. Peter Pan and Hook running around playing games, you get photos with them. Alice and the Mad Hatter playing, games at Coke Corner. That is what they want to focus on. They want to focus on not just, hey, here's a photo of me and this person. They want the memory of why you have a photo with this person, what it was. And just like the Sleeping Beauty story, there's kind of a second part of that that's Maleficent. And that is an amazing technological show with Maleficent, where it is more of her interacting. And, just Loki, Black Panther, everybody interacts. And then after they're done, they, whether it be awkwardly or not, will come down and interact with some of the guests around.
I'm an idiot. I didn't even make that connection. But yeah, the Loki, Maleficent, and her show unlike anything I've ever seen that she does in Saga. Afterwards, just doesn't meet great, which is really cool. There's a good collage of some of the stuff. Cruella de Vil is one of the major villains here. She has her own piano bar here, de Vil's, which I did not get a chance to see. I think you didn't get a chance. Benji got a chance to spend more time in there, and including see the show, because it's not just her piano bar, but she actually shows up and does a pretty fun another fun show in there with Zaya and Gamble. So, and that is another new location on this ship. Another new location is the Cask and Cannon. That is a Pirates of the Caribbean lounge, and that's a more traditional lounge, no characters or anything, but the details in there. I got to cover that one and do an interview in there, and just the details in there for a Pirates of the Caribbean fan. Mostly attraction. There are some movie ones, but mostly attraction. That's just going to be another great place to hang out. That's the space that is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yes.
On the Wish, I believe.
Treasure.
On the Treasure.
I can't think of the theme of it on the Wish to save my life right now.
But there it is, Cask and Cannon, and I just love that you feel like you're outside. I mean, that's a win. That's not a window. You're right in the middle of the ship here.
It's the Nautilus on the Treasure. It's like a map and stuff on.
It's not an IP at all on the Wish.
It's mythology of ocean travelers.
Okay.
There's like nods to Maelstrom. There was the map with
That's
like
right.
Agrabah and all that kind of thing.
Thank you very much. So
kind
the
of like
Treasure,
Disney cartography.
And this is just, like I said, the ceiling, so many details. I don't know if you get to it, but there's a scene with the dog and the keys. And this right here, that's actually animated. That's not just a static picture, but the artwork is quite animated. So did not get to try the food or the drink here, but the setting is great. Look forward to spending a little time in here when I'm able to take this thing for real.
I almost feel like that should be on the Treasure, and the 20,000 Leagues one should have been on this one. Everybody's been asking, because I've been on all three, my ranking. And for me, Treasure is still the top. Mostly, I believe, because it's theme park. It's mansion, it's Jungle Cruise. It has the feel. And just when you walk into the Grand Hall of the Treasure, it's beautiful. The Destiny, the Grand Hall is breathtaking. The statue of King T'Challa is amazing. The lighting in there changes so much. Like, you just don't even feel like you're in the same space.
Oh,
There's Facilier in the parlor.
so
Um,
cool.
and really, I think the biggest difference for me is the feel of on the treasure. Like I said, it's based on the theme park. So me, as somebody who's gone to theme parks all my life, that's that feel. The Destiny is Disney from start to finish, whether it be classic animation, Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar. They have everything that is in there. So you don't have to be a theme park fan. You just appreciate something Disney, and there's something on there for everybody. No,
Uh,
that the Mega Cafe Mega is beautiful.
Gio, I do have to agree with you. As much as I love the Destiny, I am not a fan of the Grand Hall chandelier. It reminds me of the Fortress of Solitude, just inverted. And yeah, but yeah, Jeremiah was saying these are the two coffee bars, one on deck 4, one on deck 5, Megara and Merida,
Merida.
just to be confusing. That's kind of fun, actually.
Yeah.
This actually points out though another beautiful the artwork on this ship. And I spent one of my jobs on this thing was just to walk the halls and walk the stairwells and take pictures of just document all of it. The artwork on this ship is so stunningly spectacular, beautiful. Take the time to go check out those articles because I took the time to make the walk. I think
Dude,
you won't be.
this is my first time seeing some of these most of these images, and this photographs beautifully. This ship is stunning.
It is.
Wow.
They carry the heroes and villains throughout. My favorite thing, I'm not an artsy guy. I can walk past the most beautiful thing and not notice. When I walked into the elevator vestibule, where is this? I didn't even see this.
That's the Brave.
That's Merida.
Cafe Merida.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
the
that would be
carpet
by
is
the Tangled.
And the cookies. They've got the cookies.
Yes.
It's by the salon, right?
Yes, that's the Untangled Salon.
Which just has some amazing paper artwork right outside.
No,
but the thing that got me, I'm sorry, I want to finish.
No, go ahead.
Is in the waiting area for the elevator, they have either a big Maleficent carpet, or a Sorcerer Mickey carpet. That is just the most beautiful thing. If you're walking down the stairs and you just see it there, and you're just like, I just froze because it is the most beautiful, beautiful thing. I know I tweeted it on that first day. It might be easier to find. Oh, there we go.
But no, I found your image of Mickey, of Sorcerer Mickey.
So, and then the other one's Maleficent, and it's beautiful. Inside the elevators, there's some are heroes, some are villains. Yeah. Go on, sorry.
And the Mickey and Maleficent, that's how you tell if you're in the forward of the ship or in the aft of the ship, because forward is villains and aft is heroes. So Mickey is the aft elevators, Maleficent's the forward elevators. To answer Kyle's question, or flip-flop, is it flip-flop? I thought it was.
No, wait, you said the heroes were forward?
No, heroes are aft.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I learned something from somebody else that was on the ship as they're asking a cast member, does forward mean the back of the ship? No, it does not. That was an honest question as I was walking past and just stopped. There are hidden Mickeys in the carpets of the hallways to tell you how to get to the forward part of the ship. Mickey is facing, you're looking down and you see the hidden Mickey in the carpet, which is not easy to find at times. And that means you're walking towards the forward of the ship.
Which is just comical on so many levels. Do you see that Maleficent? How beautiful that was? How amazing that was? Yeah, so the ship is beautiful. The artwork's beautiful. I wanted to talk a little bit about the big entertainment. So this ship, all Disney ships have 3 major shows. In this case, it's which Seize the Adventure, which we did not see. That was the christening night. Frozen, which is also on, I want to say the Magic, but I'm truly not sure which ship it's on, but which I saw for the first time. And then Hercules, which debuted on this ship. It's kind of the big one, kind of like Moana on the Treasure. which Jeremiah has seen. What did you think of Hercules, Jeremiah?
I really enjoyed Hercules. I need to see it again where I can relax and also where I can not like kind of doze in and out every 3 seconds, which is nothing against the show at all. The show is amazing. The cast is absolutely stunning. And if people had problems with Panic and Pain, where if you go back one photo, there in the lower left-hand corner, it's two guys. Uh, Very much like Timon and Pumbaa when people portray those characters, they're the comedic relief. But Hercules, I was lucky enough to hear him sing at a media event earlier in the year, and he walked out and sang um, Zero to Hero. Nope, he walked out to Go the Distance. Um, Zero to Hero, and it's just so amazing. I If I had to choose, I think Moana for me just slightly goes over. Um, I The Pegasus character for me kept distracting me. Like he was very cool, but I would have preferred to
Cool
you. Yeah,
So I liked it more than Jeremiah even. It's such a soulful show. Hercules is cast as black. It's not colorblind casting. He's cast as black, which I think really works. The muses, obviously, and with the whole gospel theme of the show, and it really comes through. It is so soulful. I loved it so much. Yeah, and then the special effects in it too.
yeah.
We got to go to the Walt Disney Theater and interview a lot of the people involved in it, and by far the most popular person was the puppeteer, because the Hydra is done with puppets, and it's cool with the heads multiplying. There's I won't even spoil the coolest thing the Hydra does with Hercules, but and then this is the first use of exoskeletons in a Disney stage show. They've used them briefly, I think, for Hulk, just like a meet and greet, but now they're actually a regular part of the stage show. And I got to interview the puppeteer in this case, so hopefully that's already up on LP. If not, it will be. And he talks about, what it's like to do that. So the exoskeletons are the giant titans, and then there's Hercules with the Hydras, which were right there on stage. We got to actually stand right next to him, which was cool. And I think they just pulled off the show great. They added one song. It's from the musical, which I think works fine. And then obviously all the rest of the Hercules songs. And it works. I thought it was fantastic. And I really, really look forward to seeing it again. And then, as I said, there's Hades. My favorite story from Hades. So he's a guy, the actor who does Hades. He's the Broadway in residence person. He's like the big star. And he's done Disney shows before, and he knows when you show up for, you start rehearsals. He's told this. He knows that you show up clean shaven. That's just the rule. That's how you do it. But he wanted to take a chance and see if they could work a beard in. So he actually showed up with the beard, and he had talked to him, and they figured out, and they worked it into the show, and it works really well if you see him there. So love that little tidbit from our chance to talk to them. Hercules himself is charming. I don't have his name in front of me, but I got to hear him speak a lot at a panel that I went to. And
Corey Bradford, right?
Thank you. Yes, that is absolutely it, Corey Bradford. And he did a great job. He's just a very charming guy, and definitely loves being Hercules and all the other stuff he gets to do around the ship, as all these main stage performers do.
It's always entertaining to play the, hey, wasn't he?
Yes, exactly. So big fan of Hercules and big fan of Frozen. Like I said, I hadn't seen it before. This is just a great version of the Frozen story. Really well done. Loved it. And not
No, I didn't go see it on this ship. I'd seen it previously, and it, Benji had said this, and I agree. It's probably the best staged version of Frozen, even more than Broadway or the DCA version, because it's just they don't waste time on these shows. That's one of my favorite things about the shows on any of the ships. If there is time to do anything, it is to either tell the story or do a show-stopping performance, and they do it well.
And speaking of the DCA Frozen, what a segue, Rebecca. So one of the performers in
No.
that show, the Queen, her name is Regina, is the lead female performer in Pride Land's Feast of the Lion King. So, as you know, on the Wish, they had a Frozen themed dinner show. On the Treasure, they have a Coco themed dinner show. And on the Destiny, they have a Lion King themed dinner show, which we got to experience in the normal way. We got to sit, eat, and watch the show, which is in 3 acts total. Lasts about 35 minutes, I think, somewhere around there. And what did you think of this, Jeremiah?
I loved it. Again, I've seen the 3 different shows. I don't know if it's just because it's Lion King and the music was so beautiful. It's not storytelling through puppets. It's almost like the Festival of Lion King. They're a band of minstrels and they tell the story loosely, very loosely, of the Lion King. And oh, look, there are cameras on our table. But it was just so beautiful. The cast is amazing. I'm not going to steal Doobie's thunder by telling one of the stories of the song, but to sit there, and we definitely had the best seats in the house for this show. Go watch our video, because if there's one video that I'm super proud of that I've shot, it's this one. And they just blew us away. The food was really good too. So overall, of the 3 dinner shows, definitely the highlight.
I love this show so much. We had a great scene. So I will start with my concerns. You know, we had a perfect seat, as you can see, right there up front, right on the stage. Unlike Coco and Frozen, there are no characters in this show. There's no Olaf coming. There's no Kristoff. There's no Miguel. It's just the storytellers. So I'm concerned. I hope I'm wrong about how well it will hold attention, especially when you're not up on the stage, but you're in the back with a pole blocking part of it and all of that while you're eating dinner. I hope it can still keep everyone's attention, because it's worthy of keeping the attention. So it is a retelling of The Lion King in a way that, you know, is done, where you just tell stories, you know, it's introduced that way. And the young lady there, she was by far my favorite part of the show. She's not even mic'd. She does not speak. She is strictly a dancer. And she even has a dance solo in it, using a piece of music created specifically for the show. As they made a point of saying, you cannot hear it anywhere else. It was made for this show on this ship. And that is just, you know, I'm no dance expert, but it was just beautiful to watch her dance. The singing from Regina is spectacular. She does Shadowlands and this whole thing, the live drumming. It's just such a fun, alive show. Great way. Go ahead.
I will no, as from consumer side, for me, this makes me happy, because one of my pet peeves with the current dynamic of cruise Disney has been this intensity of performance while I'm eating. I like to pay attention to my food and maybe the people around me when I'm eating, and then go see a show. This sounds like a dynamic soundtrack. Like, I can watch them, but I don't feel like I'm compelled to watch them. Am I wrong? Because I'm hopeful that that's what's going on, because I don't want to feel like I'm going to miss Olaf, or I'm going to miss this if I'm not looking because I'm eating.
So the 3 different shows, this one and Frozen, do stage, food, stage, food, stage. Where Coco kind of has music,
Okay.
and they're up there doing the entire time. I was filming the entire thing, and I actually got to eat. So they brought out the
Okay.
appetizers, we
Well,
ate,
hey.
they did the first act, the food came out, the second act, which was 20 minutes, and then the dessert came out in between the second and third act, and the third act was 7 or 8 minutes. So it's not Coco, where there's something constantly going on and you're paying attention. And Frozen, that was one of the things I appreciated, with the exception of Olaf coming around during those times, because you had to wait and hopefully catch Olaf. But yes, there is no worry about the distraction. Sadly,
I like that.
well, not sadly, it's they leave the stage and, like, it's time for you guys to eat, have fun, and then they come back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm glad you mentioned that, Rebecca, because I didn't even think about that. You definitely can eat, watch show, eat, watch show, eat. The food in this place, I believe this is now my favorite restaurant, non-premium restaurant on the ship. So I'm a vegetarian, and this is, I've only been to a couple African restaurants in my lifetime, but this was actual African food. I love that I was able to get some different dishes here. They had 2 vegetarian entrees, and I ordered them both, figuring, I would like one, but I should check out both. And I loved them both. I shoved as much as I possibly could of both of them into my face. I had an appetizer I remember loving, and the dessert, their specialty dessert, was also great. And none of it is just the traditional, what you normally get. There was no pasta, no cheese in my vegetarian entrees. So many spices, just so flavorful. I heard many people raving about the chicken, many people raving about the curry shrimp. So I think this is definitely going to be a dining favorite of a lot of people.
You had a vegetarian babodi.
I did. Thank you for remembering what I had.
I love babodi. I've never had a vegetarian version, but wow. And I'm looking at the spices that they're using here. I mean, if you want a comparison, you're looking at a similar vibe as far as your palate goes to what you would get if you were at Sanaa or if you were at Chico. It's a lot of those. You'll see words like curry. You'll see words like harissa. Lentils are going to be featured heavily in dishes as well. But listen to these desserts. The ice cream sundae that they have there is called the zebra sundae, and it has cookies and cream ice cream, chocolate wafer cookies, chocolate fudge sauce, and whipped cream. Or they have a milk tart, which is sweet shortbread crust, cinnamon spiced custard, and a roasted pineapple compote. Yum, yum, yum. Yes, please. Did you have the creamsicle cheesecake, Doobie, with the vanilla and the orange?
That doesn't. No, I did not. No, I did not. I think I had the first one on there. I can't read it from here.
You had which one, Doob?
I think it's the first one on there. I can't read it from here.
The warm chocolate pudding. I think it says Malva pudding.
Not.
There was a fruit layer cake, a passion fruit.
Yes, Doobie, it was the first one. It had this small warm pudding cake with some ice cream on it.
She recommended it.
Oh, wait, here, let me scroll down. Let me scroll down so everybody can see how pretty it looked. Hang on. I'm trying to get to it. That your desserts are at the bottom of the article, of course, because it's one of the last things you ate. So, there's like 130 pictures, and I'm trying to get to the desserts that are near the end. Wait.
Had I realized we would publish every picture I took, I would have been a little more judicious in my photography. But that's okay. Better too many than too few. I've got it here if my computer cooperates. I took a picture of my actual dish here. Oh, you beat me to it. Yep. Hey, that's my picture. I took that.
I think I have mine without the blueness.
For dessert.
By the way, Kyle points out there were nearly 300 originally, so don't think they threw them all up there.
Thank you, Kyle.
What else did you want to make sure we made people know about your trip?
So I want to make sure we touch on a couple of other things that are new. Edna Mode's is the ice cream place that has been Vanilla Peas on the Wish, and I don't remember what it is on the Treasure, Jeremiah. Perhaps you remember.
Zootopia.
But okay. Oh, there's Jeremiah's without the blue.
Yeah, when we went to the event, they had them all on display. I hope that these are somewhere in one of the articles.
I think we probably put those up in our on our Instagram. I don't know.
Edna a la Mode, which is the dessert location. Just amazing. They have everything you could possibly want. They have sorbets, or they have gelato. They have ice cream. Of course, they have Cookie Num Num. One of the Easter eggs is on the wall is actually the recipe for Cookie Num Num, and the chef didn't even know about it until somebody pointed it out to him that morning.
Awesome.
I would also like to point out, I don't know if the pictures are in here, they sold a large thing of macarons, and then they sold individual and they had it listed as macarons. So I pointed out to the chef, I'm like, these are the same thing with different spellings. And he's like, oh, they are.
Awesome. Oh, nice.
Costume.
Okay, beautiful, amazing.
Fun shop.
There we
Lots
go.
more details in here, of course, and over on the side, there's a bunch more details. A few seats in there even. We had a question. How were the accommodations? So it's the same rooms essentially as the Wish and the Treasure, just a different theme. We had what was it? Incredibles room?
Incredibles.
With the Baymax emblem on the outside. And it was nice. We had 3 of us, Jeremiah, Benji, and Doobie. So Jeremiah and Benji shared a twin bed. Benji took the bed, Jeremiah took the couch, and then there's a bunk bed that Doobie did not take because Doobie did not want to destroy the ship before it even set sail. So they actually say they can move the mattress down to the floor. So I slept on the floor right in front of the veranda, and there was plenty of room for all 3 of us. No problem.
And one night we slept with the door open, listened to the waves all night. It was great until we smelled the gas in the morning.
The cruise. These are taken the first day. So in my head, I'm like, I just got on the cruise, my favorite time. And then I did also want to mention another entertainment piece that I did not get to see because I was seeing correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle, the Music of Wakanda, which is a drum show in the Grand Hall, which is just a simple drum show with a vocalist, but really well done as always. But while I was doing that, Jeremiah and Benji were seeing With Great Power, a Marvel comedy show. Go, Jeremiah.
Oh, so this started on the Treasure, this concept. It's the storytellers kind of giving us a summation of films. On the Treasure, it's the Indiana Jones, which is very funny, and they kind of use a lot of the audience. On the Destiny, it is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where they choose, I think it was 7 films, and they talk about things that we learned from these films, and it's hilarious. And then as I'm sitting through it going, this is entertaining, I like this is good. I guess it's not a spoiler because it's our lead, and I believe it even says in the title, then Deadpool shows up and sends the audience into just pure laughter. This show is definitely why their saga can be 18 plus, and it is definitely 18 plus. There is they bleep out words. There's nothing to really worry about, but there are references and jokes.
I just want to clarify what you said. You said they do bleep out words.
Yes. Okay. It's Deadpool. But we have the video up. I don't know if there's any warning. I hope not, because it's really just one of those things. If kids are surfing YouTube on their own and come across it, Deadpool, they know what to expect. But it is very entertaining. I definitely had to stop myself from laughing because I was trying to film the entire thing. And I think everybody in there walked out going, we want to see that again.
Yeah, from what I heard, it is definitely for adults, but it is the way Disney does adults. So there's not the profanity, there's nothing explicit. It's a lot of innuendo. The only big difference is it's coming from a character, but then that's Deadpool, and that's what he's known for, and so that's the way it is. But yeah, I saw Match Your Mate on the last night, and I'm like, yeah, Disney does plenty of adult stuff on these ships. They just market it as 18 and over, make sure it's 18 and over, and so be it. But I like the way Disney does it. I'm not interested in going to a comedy show with a bunch of 4-letter words and all that stuff, but I am interested in going to an adult comedy show, and so I appreciate that Disney does that in a way that I appreciate. Was there anything else specifically you wanted to mention, Jeremiah? I will say real quick, most of the other stuff we didn't talk about is the same from prior ships. World of Marvel's there, 1923 is there, different artwork, but same menu, same experience. The kids' clubs are mostly unchanged. There's a little bit of decor difference for Oceaneer Club, but mostly unchanged. The pool deck is the same. Marceline Market's the same. Festival of Foods is the same.
I know something that's different.
I will,
Oh, what's that?
before Rebecca can say it, the Aqua Mouse with the Sing a Silly Song or Villains Mountain. Again, 3 for 3 of me making a fool doing the Aqua Mouse. But the highlight of this Aqua Mouse ride is it was freezing. Everybody gone and people were getting off going, oh, it's really cold. It's really cold. I'm like, okay, sure. It's really cold. I've had people comment on my face and the surprise that I didn't drop a few 4-letter words on how cold it was. And the screens, the storyline with Sing a Silly Song, it's Mickey and the villains. And for me, Chernabog's my favorite villain, and he's featured heavily in this. Even with the long sleeve rash guard, that didn't help at all. If you keep going, I think it was the second screen to my left, and I learned from the last two. I narrate more for this one because I was just like, ooh, ah. Yeah, you can watch my face. I think it's this one coming up that I look off, and it's just like, boom, right in my eye. Okay, so it's the next one. No, I'm having fun at this point. I'm like, yay. Okay, here comes the squirt. Oh, look at that. And then I look.
I may have missed it. It may have been at the beginning.
No, I think it's this one coming up. There it is.
You got it.
Like, couldn't even see what was going on.
Everybody got angry at that thing.
Oh, I was.
I wanted to take a moment to thank our team who worked their butts off without the fun back here, because we're not in a position to really manage this. The Wi-Fi is crappy. We're not able to get stuff consistently, and yet they pieced it all together as we tried to cover this ship. It's top to bottom as well as anybody out there. And they did a fantastic job piecing it all together, putting it up there, hundreds of pictures, as you see. If you want some documentation on the Destiny, it's there. And I also wanted to shout out, I hate that term, also wanted to give thanks to Jeremiah Good. It was fun living with Jeremiah for 3 days and seeing him work. Jeremiah works so hard. And he's in pain. He's got a issue with his leg that I know is no fun. And he just ignores it when he has to and gets the job done. So thank you, Jeremiah, for being a part of LP and making this happen, and frankly, making my life easier, because I'm old and I'm thrilled that I did not have to work as hard as you on this ship.
Thank you so much. Like that, like I said, this is my third time doing it. This is the first time I've actually spent, I think, more than just a few hours with you. And it was such a pleasure hanging out with you and having fun. And I will honestly say there are conversations that with you and Benji that I will never be able to erase from my mind. But we had so much fun, and I'm so thankful that you were on there also getting these smaller things, not smaller things, because you had to do a lot also, but it's hard when we have to cover everything, and without you covering that stuff, me covering my stuff would not have been as easy as to me. Like I think I'm not doing a good job, but when you say things like that, it makes me feel very happy. Thank you.
You deserve it. Thank you. Did not play trivia.
So for those people who were not on the ship photographing every nook and cranny, did they have things like this? Was there a kind of a somewhat regular itinerary happening for those who didn't have to document like you guys?
I would say it was 100% regular itinerary, except for many of the destination locations were closed during periods, so they can step aside from media. But yeah, there was tons of trivia. I mean, tons of trivia. I didn't do any of it this time, which is weird, but tons of trivia. I did see a bit of a movie. The movies were constantly running. The Funnel Vision was running. Marceline.
Wait! You didn't just see a bit of a movie. You saw a bit of one of the best movies.
I showed up. I just wanted to say I saw some movie on the ship. So I went and just, it was late. I needed to be in bed, but I went and saw some Fantastic Four. Got caught up in it really quick. I'm like, I really got to go to bed.
So good.
I left.
I can't wait to watch it with you. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So excited.
But yeah, it was a pretty, so I will be writing a review. And I feel like even though it was not a normal cruise, you know, it was normal enough that I can review it.
So our editor was our editor who was the main traffic cop for all this information coming in and spits and spurts and making sure that the team on land, on shore was getting it all up there. Yeah, they had some fun too, because I guess AC/DC was featured in one of the videos. So we quickly learned how you can drop portions of audio in a video so that way you don't totally lose the video. So yeah,
let me mention
a lot of fun.
So I meant Benji's not here, so I feel no need to compliment him. But since Kyle mentioned it here, so what Benji does best, I'm there because I'm the CEO. I'm the co-founder, and so I get to go on stuff like this. Jeremiah is there to do most of the hard work, although Benji worked harder than I expected. Benji can stand there for a half hour holding a camera. I wasn't sure he could do that. But the main reason Benji's there is, like Kyle said, he is a schmoozer. And he is a schmoozer like no other. There are a lot of Disney people on the ship. There are a lot of other fan sites and such on the ship. And Benji does a job, an unbelievable job, just building and maintaining relationships in a way that I could never even dream of. So I think between the three of us, we make a good team. Jeremiah doing the work, Benji doing the network, and Doobie sitting on deck 4 with an ice cream. So yeah, it all worked out great.
You were on deck 4 total maybe 20 minutes, and that's even probably rounding up. One, glorious, it was cold, and 2, you were like, you would stop. I would get your photo and like, oh, he's there. Oh wait, he's in the cabin back.
I did do a live stream. That's true. I did. It was cold, but as I told someone today, when I'm on a ship, I'm going to go to breakfast at Marceline's, and I'm going to eat on the back of the ship looking at the water. And I don't care if it's 60, 50 degrees and I'm the only person out there, which it was every morning. I was out there shivering, eating my hash browns, eating my little veggie quiche, because that is what it is to be on a Disney cruise for me. And I had a fantastic time. And thank you, Disney. If we didn't mention it, this was hosted by Disney. We did not have to pay for this cruise. So thank you very much, Disney. And if you want to go on a Disney cruise, you do have to pay for it, but you at least can make sure you get the best price possible and some great service by booking with Mouse Fan Travel. They were on the ship. We saw Becky multiple times. She had other agents there, so they know the Destiny as well as anyone as well. And they will make sure that you get the best price, the best service, and you don't have to do all the grunt work on your own, sit on the phone for hours and all that stuff. MouseFanTravel.com. Make sure they know /Laughing Place. Make sure they know Laughing Place sent you.
And I just want to share that it was very unusual to have Doobie be on a cruise without us. And and we share a Google album, Jeremiah. So our pictures appear side by side. So right now, if you look at the Mosley album, it's like Doobie at Castaway Cay, and we're in New York City with Eli Manning. So
it's very funny. My favorite is when you're sitting in traffic amongst all the big buildings in New York City, and I am sitting looking at Castaway Cay, and it's just all right. Well, anything else either one of you wanted to say about the Destiny before I close out today's show? Yeah, that was my view.
Photo, and in that moment, my photo.
No, I definitely thankfully, part of the responsibility I had was to get the photos of the ship from Castaway. And if I had to choose one place on Earth to get trapped, it would be Castaway. And walking out there, didn't touch the water, walked in the sand just to get the photos. Just touching that island for me recharges my battery.
I believe it. I look forward to our trip in March, where we get to go back on the Destiny. I get to go with my family.
Oh wait.
And I want to recommend that you go check out Jackson Olsen's Insta or socials, probably TikTok too. He's a Savannah Banana player and also a passionate Disney fan. And his various reels from his adventures on board during this are delightful. So if you want to check it out from the point of view of a Savannah Banana guest, go find Jackson Olsen.
Go find Jackson. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this special edition, as it turned out, of Disney Parks Talk, just focused on the Destiny. Yes, Jeremiah?
Can we quickly cover the special appearance of the new guest at Disneyland?
Go for
Yes.
it.
Downtown Disney?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, starting yesterday, a transplant. All of a sudden, Tony just took over from Disney Springs has arrived at Downtown Disney in California. Douglas Fir, who's been rolling the lands of Disney Springs for the past couple of years, has now his cousin, Douglas Fir, is also in Downtown Disney. And I love watching this because these guests have no clue what's going on. Like out here, we're used to Douglas Fir or some of the other specials rolling around the parks. These guys just like, where is this tree coming from? And I don't have the time, how long he is out there. I believe he is out there because he's sponsored.
The set times are up. If you scroll up just a little bit.
Yeah. Disney Vacation Club helped bring him out to California, or his cousin out to California. So if you're at Downtown Disney and it's not raining, good luck. But also make sure you look for Douglas Fir. Check out the article for the set times.
11:30 to 12, 12:30 to 1, and 1:30 to 2. 3 shows a day. Well timed, TikTok. All right. Thank you for joining us on this special edition of the Disney Parks Talk Live. We'll be back next week with the regular edition, I believe. I don't see any reason why not.
Do you have to wait to watch John Cena until you get home? Or
absolutely, 100%. It is Monday Night Raw with Rebecca. That may not change.
And tonight is a special unannounced opponent for Solo Sikoa. So,
which no one has guessed, according to a post I saw on Reddit.
No
one's guessed right.
We'll see.
And I have to wait till Doobie gets home, which means I have to stay off socials so I don't get spoiled.
You don't have to. I would like you to.
We are going to turn this into Parks Talk for a half hour, Wrestling Talk for a half hour.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Not saying that we'll probably get a lot more traffic if we throw in wrestling at times, but
I love WWE so much. All right, thanks for joining us. We'll be back next time. Trivia is planned for tomorrow, although our son might be under the weather, and I'm actually feeling a little bit under the weather. But assuming we're both well enough, we will be doing trivia tomorrow. Finally back. So thanks, and undoubtedly talking more Disney Destiny, because it's my favorite subject in the world. Thanks for joining us, everyone. See you next time.
Happy Life Day.
Happy Life Day.